All right, guys, so a bunch of you were asking how I make my lo-fi tracks, so here we go, start to finish from scratch. First things first, load up Logic and create an instance of Contact 5 because, well, I spent like $600 on it, so I gotta get my money's worth, am I right? Now we're gonna load up an instance of Scarby Vintage Keys, get some of those nice smooth lo-fi, kind of rosy tones going. Just mess around with it a little bit, trying to figure out, I don't know what I'm going to be doing at this point, what the chord progression is going to be, what key it's going to be in, so just mess around for a bit, see what I can come up with. Alright, now I'm going to kind of lay down some chords just as a base so I can start tweaking the MIDI and see if there's any different voicings or anything I want to mess around with. All right, so I think I like these voicings. I ended up cutting out the bass notes from each to leave a little bit, space on the low end of the mix for the actual bass and kick and everything. So I think that's going to end up sounding better, but we'll see. All right, cool. So now to give it a little bit more of that kind of lo-fi, sampled vibe, as if I had sampled this audio from an older tune and chopped it up. What I'm actually going to do is take the MIDI and then copy it and make it play back a couple of different times. So like I said, it sounds like it's a sample that I'm playing off of. All right, sweet. That sounded good so far. Now, before I get any further, I should probably save the project just in case, this shit crashes on me or something. So let's go ahead and name this something sort of appropriate for the genre. All right, cool. So now I'm going to create a new track with an instance of the EX sampler that I've already kind of have presets saved for some different lo-fi patches for, snare, kick, hats that I think I got off Reddit or from a few different Google searches. So I'm going to mess around here and see if I can find something that'll sound good. All right, now I'm just going to lay down a kick pattern that I like and, clean up the timing of it. All right, so now that I found a kick pattern I like, what I wanted to do was match up the point at which the keys were sliced with the kick, make it sound a little bit, more like they're all being played at once, like they all fit together. All right, now we're going to do the same thing with the snare. Load up another instance of the sampler, mess around with the different patches to see if I can find something that fits with the tune, and lay down our snare pattern. All right, cool. Pretty simple beat so far. Let's go ahead and lay down, a fairly standard hat pattern as soon as we can find a patch that we like here that fits. All right, so this little like wood block sound I found, and I actually kind of really like it. So what I'm gonna do is save it for later. Just record a couple of beats of it here, and we'll see where it fits. All right, sweet. So now that we have kind of the main groove down, let's try to figure out what the actual overall song structure is going to be. Usually with lo-fi, there tends to be kind of two major sections, a little bit more simple than most other genres, where you have kind of your main groove, and then there's typically kind of an intro, outro, and then middle sections that get a little bit quieter, a little bit more chill, before the beat comes back in. So let's do that. All right, so in this genre, I'm kind of a sucker for silence between sections, whether it's the last beat or the last couple of beats, sort of before the beat drops and the kick comes back in. So let's go ahead and see if that fits with this tune right here. Also seems kind of like a good place to throw in that cool little woodblock sound that we found earlier. Let's give that a try. All right, now let's add a little bit of environmental sort of ambience. Usually in lo-fi, that can be rainfall, it can be kind of a babbling brook, it can be wind in the trees. For this one, I have an idea in mind about the theme. So what I'm actually going to do is see if I can find something that sounds a little bit like an old naval ship. That'll make sense to a few of you a little bit later, but let's see what we can find. All right, so I'm kind of feeling some brass, I think, on this tune. Let's grab a trumpet and mess around a little bit, improvise, see if I can figure out a melody that I'm going to like over this. And I realized too that some of the reverb on the sort of ambient noise that I grabbed earlier, it's bleeding into the silences. So what I'm going to do is open up automation, and I'm going to totally cut the volume in between the points where it's supposed to be silent. So that should make it totally silent, and then I'll be able to kind of copy paste that over, so I don't have to do this a million times. All right, now let's lay down our bass line, maybe do a little bit of a bass solo, grab some guitar bits, and see if we can come up with a little mini guitar solo on top of this. All right, now's about the time where you grab you know, some recordings of some of your favorite, you know, either old jazz singing or, you know, quotes from one of your favorite philosophers, something like that. Kind of give your song some meaning, a little bit of a theme. So for this one, I'm going to be grabbing an interview from Christopher Hitchens shortly before he passed from esophageal cancer. Hitch has been a hero of mine forever, so looking forward to sampling some of his thoughts.
I'm not afraid of being dead.
All right, we're getting close to being done. Now it's time to take everything and make it lo-fi. So let's throw on some isotope vinyl, some Abbey Road vinyl plug-in, and see if we can make it sound a little bit more, you know, retro-aged vinyl.
Fear is a question of what is your attitude towards fear. I didn't pick this fight, but now I'm in it. I'd like to give it my best shot.
All right, so I've been learning a ton from a bunch of other YouTube tutorials and stuff like that, because I've really only been making lo-fi for, I don't know, 4 or 6 weeks now. Is take the project, try to group together the different kind of similar tracks, whether or not it's the drums, you know, the ambient sounds, the melody, kind of the forefront, and send them to various buses, add reverb to kind of glue them together, add compression to try to glue them together, as well as add sidechain compression to kind of duck the audio whenever the kick comes in. So let's give that a try. All right, this track's really coming along. The last 2 steps are basically going to be leveling of all the tracks, try to get everything even in the mix, and then going to be, after that, going to be doing EQ to try to get, you know, everything sitting right in the mix as well. So again, I haven't been doing this very long, learning here and there. There's still tons I have to learn, but this is kind of my process so far.
Do you fear death? No, I'm not afraid of being dead, that's to say.
All right, so one of the last things I'm going to do is throw some effects on the guitar, and then let's give the track a listen. As of right now, the track is on Spotify. It is called Vindication. You can find it on Spotify. I'll put a link in the description. And I hope you guys enjoy. I hope this was interesting, entertaining, enlightening, educational, whatever. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoy. See you later.
Do you fear death? No, I'm not afraid of being dead, that's to say. Nothing to be afraid of. I won't know I'm dead. find that I'm alive in any way at all, well, that'll be a pleasant surprise. I quite like surprises. But I strongly take leave to doubt it. One can't live without fear. It's a question of what is your attitude towards fear. I didn't pick this fight, but now I'm in it. I'd like to give it my best shot. Doesn't feel like fighting at all, possibly resisting. No, you feel as if you're drowning in passivity. I've set my face to try to demonstrate that it's a malady like any other, and it will yield to reason and science, and that's what I'm trying to spend my time vindicating. Myself on the side of those men of medicine and science and reason who are trying to reduce it to something that is understandable, assimilable to reason, and that will be brought under control.